What is going on YouTube? This is Jim back with another video. Today we are looking at the Nintendo Switch dock and my beautiful neck beard. That's right. So why am I showing you guys the Nintendo Switch dock? Because you guys have heard about the reports that when you plug your Switch into the dock, you can actually scratch the case. I did a little bit more research on this and I believe what they're saying is to be true. Now, inside the Switch, you can see that there are these kind of like plastic right here in the front. They're actually tapered plastic pieces. That's what helps guide the Switch into place. A lot of people are saying that the front of the screen is scratched because what's happening is when you try to plug the Switch in, right? When you bring it down, sometimes you don't bring it down straight and you end up tilting it like so. Let me get a little better angle to show you guys what I'm talking about. When you're bringing it in, sometimes the screen's closer to you. And look what's happening to the front of the screen right now. It's rubbing. It's not until here does the rubber actually start to pull the Switch away from the dock. And then when it's docked, it's okay. You heard a distinct click that's setting in place. I wish I had a better way to show you guys this, but the front of the screen right now is not touching the dock at all. There is actually a you can probably see it right there. You can see a little bit of the light over this hand here. And then over in my left hand as well. There is just a small amount of light leading through, but the problem is when you're plugging the Switch in and out over and over, like I've been doing, what's happening is your camera doesn't focus. Come on, camera. Why aren't you focusing? What's happening is it's hitting that front piece, okay? It's hitting here. So a lot of people said, get a screen protector. Get this. Some people have mentioned putting in different kinds of tape, or I've seen even people using the box that it came in, the packaging that it came in, this white. You've seen these things, these packaging things. The Switch was actually inside the screen, or maybe it wasn't even the Switch. Maybe this was from my Pro Controller, but you guys have seen this kind of material before. A lot of people are saying, oh, we'll just put it in here. Well, that looks kind of dorky. I couldn't figure out what to do. I did a lot of research. I was looking at different types of screens. I was looking at all these different concoctions, and I came across something on Etsy, and I bought it. I'm going to post a link to the buyer that I bought it from. It's the Mario logo. That's what's going to keep you safe. No. This is actually what they call a Switch cover. So right now, the default cover on your Switch looks like this, okay? It says Nintendo Switch. It's pretty. It's got the logo in the front. However, I don't want my screen to scratch, and I am constantly plugging my bad boy in and out, over and over and over. And you could even see, I don't know if it's going to appear well because you're seeing the reflection of all my cool posters behind the scenes here. Probably can't even tell. That's probably the best angle. It's actually starting to get a lot of smudges in this corner of the screen, where it wasn't before. And that's because it's hitting this, as I mentioned, it's hitting this piece down here. It's crashing right into this, and this is acting as a guide. And there is, as I said, a little piece of rubber at the very, very end, all the way at the bottom, which is holding it in place. Right here on the bottom, right there. That is keeping the Switch off the screen, but it's still scratching that front piece. That's where this comes in handy. So this is called a Switch cover. I've seen them called case covers. There's a couple different names. I'm going to post a link to the one that I bought below because why not, right? And what this thing does is it's like a bib. Now, this is not the most practical solution in terms of like, well, now I'm going to see this for the rest of my life. I'm not going to see that sweet, sweet Switch logo anymore. But what I am going to get is a microfiber protector inside the case. So now you can see it's all cloth inside there, right? So it's nice and smooth. So when I do go to dock the Switch, again, let's do a side view. Here is my lovely Switch. I want to dock it. Let me get a good angle for you guys. About there. When it starts to go inside the dock, it's a lot tighter, obviously. But as I'm guiding it in, it's hitting the case in the front. It's not hitting the screen. Now, it's definitely a tighter fit. If you guys remember a couple minutes ago, I showed you guys that video in the front of, like, you could see the gap. You can't see the gap anymore. This is definitely rubbing up against the fabric. It's definitely a lot tighter than it was before because the screen is now touching directly against this cloth. But the cloth is soft. The plastic piece on the bottom is not soft. And what's going to happen over time is as you start to move your Switch in and out, because you're going to be charging it unless you want to buy a bazillion adapters and not use the dock or whatever, is over time, you're going to start to actually damage that. Now, the only disadvantage with this thing here, yes, it does have a little bit of like tightness where like the fabric probably could have been told a little tighter, and who knows, maybe I can glue that down, is when you go to remove the switch, you actually have to hold down on the back of the case with your other hand, because over time this thing has a tendency to slide up. Again, it's not a perfect solution. There are screen protectors that are out there that you could get to protect the front of your switch if you think that's something you need to do. I don't really prefer screen protectors though, because to me, I don't like the way that it's glossy. It pills up over time. It just doesn't look as good. And I'm an adult. I don't drop my electronics or anything like that. So I'm not worried about like, oh, a little kid scratching it or like dirty fingers touching the screen. I don't do that. It's just me playing this, occasionally my wife. But if you guys are in the market for something like this is $13. I think it was maybe 14 when it was shipped and everything. But it's a decent enough logo. It's got that Nintendo look to it. There's billions of different types of fabric you can make. If you're handy enough, you could probably make your own. I don't know how to sew, so I went ahead and bought this one. But I want to do a quick video and show you guys that there are alternate solutions to the Switch dock screen scratching problem, as it were. But again, if you don't like the idea, then feel free to obviously do your own thing. You don't need my permission. But if you don't mind that, and I don't think it looks too bad, I think it's a good enough investment that over time you're going to see scratching, and I believe that this type of solution is going to prevent that from happening. As always, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Get out there and protect your Switch, and until next time, I will see you guys on the other side.